Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Unmasked, where we're here to try to unmask the truth. We'll be talking about a lot of things that isn't typically talked about in mainstream media. We've had a couple videos out. Me and Ryan has done one, and I have a couple other videos out. Why don't you check those out? And if you like our content, make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Our content is probably not going to do well with the YouTube algorithms, so I think if people comment and watch the whole thing, like, subscribe, do all that stuff, it'll really help get the message out. And today I'm going to be talking about COVID again. It's my second video on COVID. This time it's more on what's going on with the nursing homes. I think last time I looked, almost half the deaths in the United States were nursing homes, and looks like some of the states aren't correctly counting their nursing home deaths. Imagine that. But right now, a lot of you might already know this. A lot of people don't. I'm talking to a lot of people, and when I even mention this, I think they think I'm crazy. If you watch mainstream media and you talk to somebody that doesn't, I think they really struggle with hearing what we have to say, and it seems like they think we're the conspiracy theorists when, I don't know, it seems like CNN is more on the conspiracy theories with the Russian hoax and the Ukraine and, whatever else they want to make up on the lamestream media. But like I said, I want to talk to you all about the governor's mandates in some of these nursing homes, and also what our governor here is doing in my state, Governor DeWine. A huge reason I want to start talking about this is because I think it's time that we stop being silent. I think a lot of us have seen the information out here, and so many people are relying on TV news and are missing out on a lot of it. They're just getting little snippets of the truth, and we need to start speaking out, and hopefully more and more people will see these things. I think that we're seeing a lot more people walk away, and that's a huge movement right now. And where I'm going to start with first today is just talking about these governors being investigated. Let me go ahead and read this article from Newsmax. 5 Dem govs called to answer for nursing home mandates. Scroll down here. I think I'm having some problem with the camera, but hopefully the mic's doing well. I'm going to invest in a better camera soon, so bear with me on that. But let me go ahead and read this article, and this is from Monday, June 15th, and it's by Eric Mack. Republican members of the House Oversight Committee are investigating 5 Democrat governors for the decision to mandate nursing homes to take untested, if not COVID-19 positive, patients during the pandemic. This is shaping up to be an investigation into whom to blame for nursing home deaths, the federal government or the Democrat states that forced nursing homes to take COVID-19 patients before they were prepared to handle them, according to the GOP members of the House Oversight Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Crisis. The decision of several governors to ignore federal protocols and instead mandate COVID-positive patients be forced back to their nursing homes ended up being a death sentence for tens of thousands of our nation's most vulnerable citizens, Steve Scalise says. What I want to talk about here is I'm not for sure why in the world that these governors would even consider doing that, and we'll get a little more into it, but this is something I knew from back in April, I think, when DeWine and maybe a couple others reversed this decision. Why is it not being talked about now? It should be all over the news. Should have been for a long time. let me go back to this, and this talks about the 5 governors they're investigating. You know, you can go read this. I'm going to put all my sources down in the comments, all the videos down in the, not in the comments, down in the description. And if anybody wants to challenge you on any of this, or you want to show anybody, you're welcome to all this stuff, because especially if you're on Google, it's hard to find any evidence. You know, they're keeping us from seeing a lot of things. But the 5 governors they're investigating is California Governor Gavin Newsom, which I'm not going to talk much about, because, correct me if I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments, not in the descriptions, if I am wrong, but I think that he reversed his mandate after about 10 days. So, I don't know, he must have saw the light. But if I'm wrong about that, let me know. And then we'll talk about New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. That's a huge one that if you haven't seen any of these other names on TV that's talking about these mandates, you might have seen Andrew Cuomo. He's actually been asked about this. And then you have the New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, then the Michigan Governor Adolph Whitmer, and then Tom Wolf from Pennsylvania. Basically, they wrote a mandate stating that the hospital, that the COVID positives were not to stay at the hospital, that they were to be released and to be put back into the nursing homes. And the mandates, the major thing of it was the nursing homes had to accept them, whether they were COVID positive or not. I don't think they were even allowed to ask. And that went on for a long time in a lot of these states, from March till April. And we'll get into that here. I think that's all from that article. Let's go on to the Michigan mandate. Let's talk about Michigan first. And in Michigan, let me pull this up so I can see it. This is the Detroit News, and let's see when this was written. This was June 27th. Let's go ahead and go through this. Throughout the COVID-19 outbreak in Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Adolph Whitmer, has attempted to shield any criticism of her decision-making by repeatedly claiming to rely on the best data in science. And I'm not for sure where she's getting the science from. Except too often, the data is kept under lock and key, and when you dig deeper into the myriad of executive orders, a science-based rationale typically turns out to be lacking. Whitmer's executive order on nursing home is a case in point. Under this mandate, some nursing homes in Michigan were forced to admit COVID-19 patients back into their facilities. As a result, thousands of elderly residents were needlessly put at risk. From the outset of the pandemic, scientists and healthcare professions have told us that seniors was disproportionately vulnerable to this virus, as we talked about. As recently become public, just days after the first case hit Michigan, the head of the state's leading nursing home association wrote Whitmer with an alternative proposal that recommended against returning infected patients to the nursing home. The governor ignored this expert advice. So where's she getting her science from? You know, who knows? She just seems to be making up stuff as she goes along here. We're not for sure why some of these governors think that they have as much power as they do. And I'm having difficulty on my camera here. Bear with me while I take care of that, and I'll be setting up the new slide here. Actually, it's a video of one of an incident that happened in Detroit. This young man you see in this picture right here, he's in a nursing home. And what I'm about to show you is pretty gruesome. I would not have any children around, but this is not a politically correct or a place for children, so hopefully they're not in here anyways. Almost got my camera fixed. I'm having a lot of technical difficulties with my camera today. Let's get back online. And still not back online. Let's try again. Well, you do have... There I am. All right. Not that you need to see my ugly face, but hopefully that don't happen again. Let me go right into this video. I'm going to show you this video, then I'm going to explain what happened here. Oh, I haven't even popped him up yet. I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and transition. This young man right here, like I said, this is pretty gruesome, so you might want to turn your head here. But we need to get this out because now you see this young guy beating on somebody, and that person he's beating on is I believe a 75-year-old man that's in the nursing home. And I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. This should have been all over the place, but this of course happened right before the George Floyd stuff, and definitely got bypassed. But you see this man just beat the snot out of him, and it goes on, and this man is drastically injured here. And this is a 20-year-old. And you ask, why is a 20-year-old beating up an older gentleman in a nursing home? You probably think he might work there, but he doesn't. This gentleman here that's beating this older man was in a mental health institute. He's from Ypsilanti in Michigan, and due to the governor's mandates, she had people that tested positive for COVID in these types of places be moved to nursing homes. So she's moving a 20-year-old who is a mental health patient, and I read in an article, and you guys can dig all this up, you can find it, but I read in an article why he was there for committing a crime, and why he was there, he was hearing voices. So Adolf Whitmer has a mandate that sends mental health people into nursing homes. Now, he's in this nursing home, he has COVID. Does the nursing home not know he has COVID? He's not being quarantined, doesn't have a mask on. Does this gentleman have COVID? Are they together? I mean, what's going on here? And when you really dig, it's gonna be hard to find out that this gentleman had COVID. You're gonna have to dig deep. His mother was even on one of the local news saying that he had MERS, and I don't know if that's what the doctors told her or not, but he was there due to COVID, and after he beat this man, he videotaped this. He put it online. When people saw it, and eventually got back to the nursing home, and the police arrested him. And how I think we found out that the gentleman was there for COVID is because when they arrested him, he tested positive for COVID, and he was separated. So, that just led to the next question: why is a 20-year-old in a nursing home? That doesn't make any sense. And he's in there beating the tar out of this old man. And he also had beat on an elderly woman in here. Let me see if that's, I don't know if that's part of this video right here. I think this might be. So this is a bedridden woman here that he is beating on. You can't see the picture, but he beats on two elderly people there while he has COVID at the nursing home due to Governor Whitmer's mandate. So why isn't this headline news? I don't understand. This gentleman is there because he has COVID. So they don't put him at a hospital. They're just putting young COVIDs inside nursing homes with elderly people, and we're wondering why it's hit the nursing home so hard. Well, that's one state. That's one state. Let's go to New Jersey here. I think that's next on the list. Let me get up here. Still having all kinds of camera difficulties. That's all right. I'm going to get a better camera, that's for sure. I'm using my phone right now. So what is this? What are we looking at here? We're looking at newjersey.com. And this is an opinion piece, but it's really hard to find, a lot of articles on this stuff. You're not going to get anything in mainstream media except for, like I said, Cuomo. There's a couple things come out, but Murphy administration ignored CDC advice and sent COVID patients to nursing homes. The CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report is what you might call the Bible of public health establishment, assuming the Bible were to be updated every 7 days based on the best research available. On March 27th, the CDC posted an article from the MMWR concerning the deadly outbreak of COVID-19 a month earlier at a nursing home in Washington state. The article said of the disease, also known as SARS-CoV-2, that once SARS-CoV-2 is introduced in a long-term care skilled nursing facility, rapid transmission can occur. It went on to say the study of the Washington case indicated very rapid spread, despite early adoption of infection prevention and control measures. 2 days after that, the society... So even though they adopted preventions and measures, is still spread rapidly. 2 days after that, the Society of Post-Acute and Long-Term Medicine, which certifies specialists in the field, put out a press release based on the MMW article. It was harshly critical of an order adopted the week before by New York State that told directors of the nursing homes no resident shall be denied readmission or admission to the nursing home solely based on confirmed or suspected diagnosis of COVID-19. The Society's press release stated, based on what we currently know, this action by a state will put many frail and older adults who reside in nursing homes at risk. 2 days later, on March 31st, the Health Department of New Jersey sprung into action. The wrong action. The department sent out a letter, a long-term care facilities ordering no patient resident shall be denied readmission or admission to the post-acute care setting solely based on a confirmed or suspected diagnosis of COVID-19. Right there. Bam. New Jersey sending them. Let's see. This was written by Paul Moonshine, Star Ledger columnist. I don't know this guy. It's obviously opinion piece, but you will find more. This isn't the only article. This was just a pretty good written one on what was going on. I'm not going to read any further. That's New Jersey. That's New York in this article. And I want to talk about New York a little bit later. And then we'll come back and talk about New Jersey and New York combined. I want to go over some numbers. But here we go. There's the second state. We got Michigan with Adolf Whitmer. Now we got... New Jersey doing the same thing. Governor Murphy, this moron. I just can't fathom that they thought this was okay. This has to raise some eyebrows, and I'm not for sure why we're not talking about this all over the place. It kind of aggravates me. It really does. The whole time I've been they throw it in my face and our faces that, oh, you don't care if somebody dies. You don't care if somebody dies. Well, we got governors killing elderly people here. And it's just not these five, too. I know there's other things going on. We'll talk about Ohio. Hopefully, I get some comments talking about what's going on in your states. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this up. Let's go ahead and talk about Pennsylvania. And this is basically the same old stuff. I just can't believe that this went on for so long and that it didn't get blown out of the water back when they did these mandates back in March. Right here, this is from Townhall by Guy Benson. I don't know him either. But this was posted back on May 15th. May 15th, so that's quite a while ago. Reports, Pennsylvania state officials require nursing homes to admit COVID-positive residents moves own mother out of, looks like, facility. I'm not getting the whole thing there. That's okay, I got the whole article we can read. Let me go ahead and get into this. Pennsylvania is one of the many states witnessing catastrophic coronavirus death tolls in nursing homes and long-term care facilities for the elderly. Nearly 70% of Pennsylvania's COVID-19 deaths have occurred in nursing homes. Now this was, I don't know what the numbers are now, this was back in May. So it goes on to say, as we've seen in places in New York and New Jersey, nursing homes were required by the state to admit coronavirus-positive residents after they were discharged from hospitals, while still contagious. And they were advised not to do it. I don't understand. I don't understand. We're just this should be all over the place. You know, let's spread this out. This is important. This is something that they've been hiding. We've also written about New York's final reversed rule that permitted nursing home employees with confirmed COVID-19 diagnosis to show up for work as long as they were asymptomatic, which does not diminish transmissibility of the virus. Well, they say it does now. Who knows? The way that it spread, I'm thinking that asymptomatic people do spread the virus. The way it spread, but they're saying it doesn't now. Who knows? I think that they're wrong. I think that asymptomatic still spreads. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, and I very well could be. Who knows at this point? We've been spoon-fed BS for this amount of time now. So right here, they're doing the same thing in Pennsylvania. I don't have any horror stories from Pennsylvania. I just have the one from Adolph Whitmer State, and then there's plenty going on in New Jersey that you can find. I think there's some lawsuits, and also with Governor Cuomo, that's really the only one that's easy access to find. When you Google it, you do another search engine like DuckDuckGo, and you'll find a few more things. But I'm just going to jump right out of that. Pennsylvania is doing the same thing. Let's go ahead and get to New York. And I'm going to go ahead and play this video. And it's local Channel 2 news. Pop everything up. I'm still a beginner here, so bear with me. Seems like my camera's working better. I struggled with that. But we're back on track. Let's go ahead and play this. This is Channel 2, WLNY, CBC, New York. And we have no sound.
Accountability. And
Let me start over.
New York's nursing home. Now to the ongoing tragedy at New York's nursing homes. Critics are demanding accountability, and they say so far Governor Cuomo's response is coming up short. CBS 2's Tony Aiello has this.
This March 25th directive is cited by many for contributing to the more than 5,000 COVID-19 deaths at New York nursing homes.
We saw that the ramifications.
And this 5,000 number is bogus, man. If you do some research, you'll find out that they're not telling the truth about nursing home deaths. They're counting people who are dying at the hospital that were living in these facilities as non-nursing home deaths. So I guarantee it's like every other state, either half to 70% of their deaths are nursing home, long-term facility, just like almost everywhere else, and especially, you know, making mandates like this. Let me get back into the video here.
Medications could be potentially dangerous.
At Gerwin Health in Comac, CEO Stuart Almer was an early and vocal critic of the March order from the state health department, mandating nursing homes to take recovering COVID-19 patients while prohibiting the homes from requiring the patients test negative. The goal was to relieve hospitals as the pandemic wave began to build.
Relieve hospitals. You know, Cuomo, he was getting famous then. Everybody thought he was a superstar. He needed 800 gazillion respirators and a million hospital beds. I just don't see where they got any of this from. You know, I'm pretty sure what they turned the Jarvis Center into a place. They brought that ship in. How many beds did he use? You know, you're going to. I believe he's got everybody out of school there. I mean, there's a lot of things you could have done to keep COVID patients out of nursing homes. There's no way that I believe that this was an accident. This was not an accident.
As soon as we saw the mandate, certainly we were very concerned, as are all family members, with the concern that they might expose their loved ones to COVID-19.
Petition and email campaigns warned introducing COVID patients to nursing homes put vulnerable residents at risk. Governor Cuomo rescinded the order on May 10th and this week blamed the original policy on the Trump administration.
Why?
Oh, so I was wrong. It wasn't till May 10th? Seems like he changed a little bit of the mandate on April 10th. I'm pretty sure. I'm not for sure what it was, but. And then finished changing the mandate on May 10th. Let me go ahead and
did the state
rewind that real quick.
And this week blamed the original policy on the Trump administration.
Why?
It's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault that I mandated nursing homes to take COVID patients. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I'm pretty sure that I read the minimal amount that he sent during this time period, which I think this was between the April 10th time period, so there has to be more. But there was 4,300 COVID patients that were positive that got put back into nursing homes. I mean, this is unbelievable that this guy is still allowed to govern people. It's unbelievable.
Why did the state do that with COVID patients in nursing home? It's because the state followed President Trump's CDC guidance.
Wrong. No. How come 45 other governors did not follow that? It was just 5 governors. And one of them stopped doing it 10 days later. I don't know.
So they should ask President Trump.
An answer that did not impress Queens Democratic Assemblyman Ron Kim.
You can't go on national TV one day and say the buck stops with me, blame me, and the next day things don't go well, blame everyone else.
New York had
even the Democrats in New York aren't buying that bullshit. They're not buying that bullshit, and that's what it is. I mean, this is unbelievable. All these governors were advised not to do this. You know, are they trying to get the death numbers up? I don't know. Going through all this, and you look at the states. Here, let me get out of this. I'm not going to show any more of this. It's disgusting. I can't hear Cuomo talk anymore. But you add to the deaths in New Jersey and New York together. That's 35% of the deaths in the United States. 35%. You throw a couple more states in there, and that's half the deaths. So, you know, you're looking at 45 of the states got the same amount as 4 or 5 states. And a lot of these states did horrible stuff like this. I'm sure that's happened all over. And we know that these guys are Democrats, of course, but it ain't just the Democrat Party. Because we got old King DeWine. Old King DeWine thinks that he is the king. And we'll be careful what I'm saying. But what we got going on in Ohio here, King DeWine did not mandate. I should have done that earlier, my bad. King DeWine did not mandate the nursing home victims to be put back into nursing homes. But he did a horrible job, and I'm going to go through this here. I got a little video I'm going to play, and the ad kept popping up, so I'm going to have to put it on here real quick. I should have done that while we were listening to that video, but I didn't.
Life has changed. If you need the flexibility of rent-to-own for appliances, electronics, or computers, shop at Aaron's.com, where we're always open. Or discover your leasing power at apply.aarons.com.
We've learned that 60% of...
Let's skip the ad there. Let's get this on. Sorry about that. I had to get through the ad. Let's go ahead and let him talk here. Go right into it. This is Ohio. And this was a while ago too. This came out on May 20th. So some of these numbers aren't correct, but I believe the percentages have not changed. And this was after they tried to cover up how many COVID deaths that there were in nursing homes. So this was WKYC Studios, looks like the Cleveland area. And let's go ahead and let this gentleman talk. Let's get this ad off here. Ads.
Of Ohio's coronavirus deaths have taken place inside nursing homes and long-term care facilities. The news.
Now it says that, but I don't think he has his numbers right, because you can see right here on this article, and then they do the math later, it's 70% of COVID deaths are in nursing homes. Let's go ahead and let him.
Comes after 3 News Investigates pressed the Ohio Department of Health to release that information for more than a month. 3 News investigator Rachel Polanski has the latest.
As COVID-19 was sweeping through Ohio's nursing homes, these families felt helpless, banned from visiting their loved ones and getting little insight of what was happening inside.
Where is the transparency?
No communication whatsoever.
It's tearing us all apart.
Just kept finding content not available.
It's important to a lot of families.
After 3 News Investigates made a number of requests, the Ohio Department of Health started giving us information about nursing home deaths, but not all of it. Death data before April 15th was deemed too unreliable, so it was essentially erased from ODH reports. After a month of work, those deaths are finally being added. Today, an ODH spokesperson confirmed.
After a month. Well, one reason that they don't know is because DeWine, he laid off everybody. You know, nobody was doing anything. Probably nothing in the government wise either. So I'm not for sure. I'm gonna play this, and I want to get in an article. Before I jump into it, I'm just gonna let this finish.
There were 369 COVID-19 related deaths in nursing homes before April 15th. Add that to the deaths we already reported, and there have been 1,031 COVID-19 related deaths in nursing homes. That's 60% of Ohio's coronavirus deaths.
Now remember, this is an old video, so there's been more deaths than that, and don't be like, oh, that's wrong. It's just an old video, and it's more to talk about what King DeWine is doing wrong.
Yes.
And this is a very vulnerable, by and large, a very vulnerable population.
Governor Mike DeWine confirmed that National Guard units will be going into nursing homes this week to ramp up COVID-19 testing.
Keep that in mind. You know, he right there he says these people are vulnerable, and now National Guard's going in. So National Guard's going in on May 20th here. May 20th he's sending the National Guard in, and we were shut down in March. And that's real important when I show you this article here.
This is why increasing testing is so very important. We're a lot better off than we were. We're not where we should be.
Governor DeWine said he'll be asking both the Guard and the state's largest hospitals to pitch in. And remember, Ohio is not alone. All across the nation, nursing homes have accounted for roughly half of all COVID-19 related deaths.
We're going to push the testing as hard as we can in these nursing homes.
Why in the world are we voting for these beta males? I mean, I'd rather have a strong female than this beta male up here. We need strong men and strong men. And I'm sorry, strong men and strong women leading, not weak men and weak women. And who is this guy? Another lawyer. And I got to turn him off. He's got me upset. He's got me upset. But I want to talk about what they were discussing there. And on this last clip, I'm going to get this off of here too because it'll go and play the ad back. So let me go ahead and erase that real quick. Let me go to defaults and okay, and let's get to the next screen here. So bear with me on this. I was having trouble getting this article on there. It was coming in dark and I got everything highlighted here. This article here discusses a little bit further on what the news story couldn't find. Get to the top here. This is Coronavirus in Ohio Nursing Home. Who is to blame? That's the title. I know it's hard to see. I got everything down here highlighted, a little easier to see. Problems with identifying asymptomatic carriers and having difficulty with memory care patients have contributed to the spread of COVID-19 in nursing homes. But resident advocates say issues in the homes preceding coronavirus also have an impact. A population that is highly susceptible to COVID-19, a lack of availability of personnel, protective equipment, and slow response to provide testing, and the presence of asymptomatic carriers, all primary factors in why nursing homes have been ravaged by the deadly virus. Sorry about that. I might have the Rona. Might have the Ronies. No, I hope not. I know I won't be getting tested. I promise you that. And I suggest for you asymptomatic people or anybody that's not sick, do not get tested. It's driving the numbers up. We'll never go back to work. Pretty much our businesses have been destroyed. So let's get back into this. But some patient advocates and other critical of the nursing home industry response to the pandemic say the level of staffing, problems with infection control, and the buildings themselves all preceded the coronavirus' devastating effect on residents in the industry. Did Mike DeWine not know this? Was he not aware of this stuff? This is an unprecedented challenge for us across society in every single facet of our lives, including those for nursing home residents and operators, said Richard Malott, Executive Director of the Long-Term Care Community Coalition, an advocacy group for residents. However, we have known that the infection control and prevention standards are too often flouted by nursing homes. Which, we can get into blaming nursing homes. We can. But I think the main thing here is King DeWine knew that the nursing homes, had some issues. A total of, and this is, I think, an older article, so let's just get through these numbers here. In the latest update, 38, get through that stuff. Okay, let's get into why they think that why they had a problem. Though some of this attributed to the lack of compliance with basic hygiene protocols, talking about the deaths that's happened here, such as hand washing, Malott said the biggest contributor to the issues in nursing homes is the lack of investment in staffing. So, that might be true, but it's hard to find people that want to work at nursing homes, and I don't think they make very much either. So that's probably an issue all over. In Ohio, 536 facilities are below average in staffing, according to Nursing Home Compare, a federal Medicare website that has detailed information about every Medicare certified nursing home in the country. So 536 facilities are below staffing. They knew that at Nursing Home Compare. Does nobody in Columbus know this? It's really sad it's taking this pandemic to bring out the issues of the nursing home, said Paula Mueller, founder and president of the Elderly Advocates based in the Cleveland suburb of Parma. But I think it's really seen that they had poor infection control before this started. Okay, maybe. But who did? Who had good infection control? And people put their family members in the nursing home because they can't take care of them. So it's a hard situation. I know it is, and you know, I think that's a whole different conversation, a whole different debate. But what I'm seeing here is DeWine knew what was going on here, and I have another article that I wanted to put up that I didn't, but I'm going to put down in the description, and I'll just go ahead and talk about what it said, and you can get on DuckDuckGo or something like that and try to find this article. And I'm going to put, like I said, I'll have it in the description when I upload it though. But the article talks about there are, and I forget what they call them, but there's nursing home resident advocates. And at the beginning of that, at the part of that one video, they were talking about they couldn't get any answers. Well, until I think around in May, they weren't allowing these nursing home advocates inside of the nursing homes to see what was going on. So when they got into these places, they found out a lot of these places are not equipped to keep COVID patients there. Even the ones that are equipped, why would we keep the COVID patients at a nursing home, knowing how bad it spreads? We've seen it in other countries. We saw it in Washington. We're seeing it all over, that when it gets in these nursing homes, it's doomsday. So, knowing that, why would we even have COVID patients inside nursing homes? We still, in Ohio, have, and probably many other states, have COVID positives in nursing homes. And some of these facilities, they just didn't have the space, the room, the facility. They just weren't equipped for it. And they were forced to keep COVID patients. And you wonder why there's issues. And you know, people want to blame the nursing home and the private sectors. But Mike DeWine sent in the National Guard to help on what was it, May 10th? Well, how about do that in March? How about have the National Guard, you know that they're understaffed, King DeWine. Why not go have them go help out in March? I don't understand. And I do think there was some National Guard that went out and helped, but I'm not seeing where they did much in the nursing homes. If I'm wrong, comment below, prove me wrong. You know, I'm very open-minded. I want to uncover the truth. I don't want to be the truth. I want to uncover the truth. And there's things that I'm probably going to say that might be wrong here. But I don't think that we saw that, because they weren't even letting the advocates, the residential advocates inside to see what was going on. And they were getting, man, I think tens of thousands of phone calls at the state. And they went unanswered. And people were worried to death what was going on. Did their family member have COVID? Were there COVIDs there? I suggest next time, and I know not everybody can do this, but if you have a family member in a nursing home and we have something like this again, you might want to get them out of that nursing home, especially if you live in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and, well, looks like California was a little better. But, you know, I'm just really confused on why we would have these mandates even. They didn't know. Governor DeWine, King DeWine, doesn't know that it spreads like wildfire in these nursing homes. And it's just a gruesome thought to me to think that these 5 Democrat governors did what they did. Well, especially the 4. I'm going to give Gavin Newsom a pass. He finally came to his senses. I don't know why or how, but he came to his senses early. Now, that's about everything for now. Let's see what we get. 42 minutes in it, and I know these videos are long, but I'm putting in a lot of information. You know, I feel like we really need to get this information out. I know I don't have a face for the camera or the voice for radio, but I'm just an average citizen who's pretty much losing their livelihood due to these crazy mandates. We'll come out with another video and talk about how I feel about the COVID spikes and what's going on and the deaths, and also would like to talk about Sweden. Looks like Sweden is really dropping off on the cases they're getting. Are they getting herd immunity? You know, and it sure seems like that if the cases are dropping off and we're surging. So to me, it looks like we've delayed herd immunity, and they're trying to delay it as long as possible. My last COVID video I did talks about, you know, a lot of this stuff. Go check it out. I'm gonna probably end this on right here. Give me a sub, like, comment. The more I get of that stuff, the more people will be able to see this. You know, when YouTube and social media sees what we're doing, they're going to make it real hard for people to find out this information. And I will see you guys next time. Hopefully my next video will be with Ryan. If not, the one after that will. And we want to start making that a weekly thing. Hopefully a weekly 2 or 3 hour podcast where we talk about a lot of things and maybe do more of these individual things separate. And you guys can check out all that we have coming up, hopefully. And let me see, a lot of ands. I think that's it. I think that's all for today. Thank you, YouTubers. Let's not be silent anymore. And let's end this Marxist movement. You guys have a nice day.